And so these are some of the words that I had that I used to define it or describe it. So scale model, scale prototype, the minimum viable product model.
Yeah.
And so they kind of...
That's fantastic. The MVP is one of those things that, like, if someone is coming up with an idea or a concept to get it made, is it anything like the print industry where, you know, the difference between printing 500 and 5,000, you know, it's a quantity thing? Like, is that a restriction that you have?
Like for this kind of unit, quantity doesn't really come into it because you're unlikely to be producing enough for economies of scale to really kick in. So it is really built around short run work. It is very hands-on.
Yeah.
But for someone who's developing something new, they might only want one.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm thinking, because a lot of the time when it's just a one-off, the cost is so prohibitive. I'm looking at our world as a graphic designer, and you're doing packaging. You know, if you're doing packaging for 500, it's a very, very different price to if we're doing packaging for 5,000. And it actually it's not worth the client's time unless they are doing those massive scales. But I would imagine that the kind of industries that you're looking at here, being medical, for example, I'm sure that unit sells for hundreds of thousands probably. So, you know, whatever the cost is to get these sales models up can be seen in their ROI quite easily.
Yeah, I mean, it does self-select to a degree with what the ticket value of what you're selling. But at the same time, when you're selling something that's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, then like your market, you don't need 5,000 of them.
No.
You might only need 5 because there's only that many. Like I spoke to one marketer in New Zealand, and he had worked out that there was only 10 companies in New Zealand that actually buy the service that he sells. So when he markets, like the amount that he spends per unit can be much higher. He doesn't have to look at that, trying to drive it down so much.
And I would imagine now that they've got this tool to sell with, hopefully their sales go up.
Yeah, so I spoke to the sales manager yesterday, and they haven't been able to deploy it yet because of COVID. So we're actually still waiting to hear on that one. So they're all distributed and they're thrilled with them. But yeah, they're not doing face-to-face sales as yet. But I mean, as stuff starts to open back up, I think from now, I think they're going to be back on it, and we'll find out for real what the actual effect is.
Fantastic. So obviously the medical industry is quite a big one that would benefit from this. What other kind of industries do you know?
Look, I think building's another one that it could work for. Can you imagine showing up, you know, someone's interested in buying a house and you show up with a box and you unfold a house, you know, on their table. Those kind of
corporate building, you know, huge big high rises, and I know they make models and stuff, but to be able to 3D print them and flatbed print them is it's a whole new way of doing things.
Absolutely, yeah. And anyone who's developing a new product that they may not be able to present simply because it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I'm thinking engineers as well.
Oh,
fantastic.
Having a prop in the room to spark conversation is a very valuable sales tool, because otherwise you're stuck looking at flyers, you know, booklets, or maybe you hold up your iPad and show a video or something. The ability to communicate and to spark curiosity and conversation is much more limited.
And as humans, we are so visual and we are tactile. So, you know, being able to look and touch and move and feel things and actually see how how big it is, how it represents. It's I think that's exciting.
Yeah, and I mean, if it's something you could do, I don't know, but if it's something you could even leave behind, like the old puppy dog pitch, like you can imagine, you know, one builder shows up and he leaves a card, and the other builder shows up and he leaves a house.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it could be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. That's about it, I think, Deb.
Fantastic. Well, I think that this has a lot of potential, and I'm really excited to see where you're able to take this.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, let me know if you have any other exciting things that come up.
Yeah, I will, for sure.
Fantastic.
All right, thanks, Deb.
No problems. Bye.
Bye.